Hey WWE Universe, I want to apologize for this video being late. Things have just been really crappy lately. So let's get started. First, Triple H and Stephanie were on vacation, so Randy Orton, Kane, and Brad Maddox came to the ring to decide who, I guess they all thought they were in charge, but nobody knew who, so they wanted Kane and Brad Maddox wanted either Cody or Kane to wrestle. Goldust to wrestle. And in the end, Vicky Guerrero came out and said that she wanted Randy Orton to have a 2-on-1 handicap match with the Rhodes brothers. So now we have Vicky, Brad, and Kane all in, I guess, in the general manager seat for the night. Next we have Cody Rhodes and Goldust facing Randy Orton in a 2-on-1 handicap match. I thought it was a pretty good match, and it was a great way to start off Raw. Sorry, I'm really cold. But I don't know, I love the Rhodes brothers, but I just feel like now absolutely nobody else gets a chance to be on TV. So, I hope they do start having tag team matches and will be defending their title really soon, because I'd enjoy seeing that. But Randy Orton, quickly after seeing how fast and how good the Rhodes brothers were, quickly was just pretty done with the match. So he got counted out, but the Big Show, who we had found out earlier was not able to compete because he had been hurt last week from the Shield. He came out and chokeslammed Randy Orton onto the announce table, breaking it completely. And so that was a pretty good way to begin Raw. I thought it really was going to be awesome. But sadly, I feel like a lot of Raw just wasn't really that good. I don't know. I haven't been feeling very good, and I seriously had the headache from hell. And some medicines I'm on have really been making me sick, so I don't know if it was a mixture of that just made me feel so crappy that I couldn't really enjoy Raw that much, or honestly, I just didn't care for a lot of matches like this one. Santino Marella, I'm sorry, and Los Matadores versus Union Jacks, which was 3MB, and they were dressed up in UK attire since they were in Manchester, England. And El Chorito, I believe is how you say it, the Los Matadores little bull always gets involved in the matches. And then Santino had bull horns on, and so did his little cobra. So he won with the bullhorn cobra. And it was just short, and I really didn't enjoy it, and I really thought the match honestly kind of sucked. Next we have Santino Marella versus Kofi Kingston. And I don't know if it's just me, but I've noticed Kofi's pants have always been ripping, from his crotch area to almost to his knees. I don't know, because it looks like when he first comes out his outfit isn't like that. But I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, or if I just haven't noticed that is how his outfit's made, but it definitely doesn't look like that's how it's originally made. So it's been at least a month I've been noticing this, possibly longer. And it's just really weird, and I think they need to fix that. It's just awkward and disturbing. But Damien Sandow, Kofi had said some things earlier about him backstage, and so it really made Damien Sandow mad, so he was definitely on full attack, and really didn't even give Kofi that much of a chance. He was very aggressive, and so he hit the "You're welcome" on Kofi Kingston for the win. Next we have Curtis Axel versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. I was actually really excited for this match because, of course, I love Dolph Ziggler. He's a really sweet guy. I've been really lucky enough to meet him, and he's just a wonderful guy, and I think he's such a talented guy, and I really think they've been underusing him lately, and I really don't like that because I really think he has potential to hold some type of title. He even has the potential to hold the World Heavyweight Championship, and it's just sad that he's being so underused. But Curtis Axel really doesn't do that much. He doesn't really defend his title much. He just kind of comes out with Paul Heyman and crap happens, and it's annoying. But Dolph Ziggler really put on such a good show. That's definitely why they call him the show off. He was really putting his heart in the match, and I was like, I had my fingers crossed. I want him to be the champion so bad, because I really think then he would really be used properly. But sadly, in the end, Curtis Axel retained his title, and so I hope maybe to see maybe a match at Survivor Series for the title. I really think Dolph Ziggler deserves it, especially since he just he's really been putting his all, and he's pinned Curtis Axel before, so I hope to see something happen between them again. Next we have Tamina Snuka versus Nikki Bella, and Brie was in Nikki's corner, and AJ was in Tamina's corner as usual. And one thing I want to say that's really been bugging me is that Nikki Bella has been being called fat, and I don't understand people when they say that. She's not a stick-thin girl. She's one of those girls that you look at and think, since I'm not 90 pounds, I'm not putting anybody that's 90 pounds. There's nothing wrong. Everybody has their different body types and their own way their body is, but to call a beautiful girl that is so talented, and just because she's not a little tiny twig and she has curves and she has meat on her bones, that they're going to call her fat and disgusting, and that just really makes me mad, and I don't understand why anybody would say that about her, but I've been hearing that a lot, and that's really been like just pissing me off. But Nikki's really been improving in the ring, especially after her just coming back from an injury and her being older, which she's mentioned before. She was afraid it was kind of like a career-threatening injury, but thankfully it wasn't, and she's come back and she's really seemed to be doing a lot better, and I think her skills in the ring have really been great. But with the help of AJ, Tamina hit this Superfly Splash. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. And won. And then Brie attacked both Tamina and AJ. So I hope maybe to see a feud. I hope to see Brie get another chance at the title, because I think she deserves it. And it was a good Divas match. I just wish AJ, hadn't interfered or anything, because just sometimes I get really sick of people interfering. It's just like, aggravating. Next we have Fandango versus Tyson Kidd, and I'm glad that Tyson's back, that they didn't just decide not to use him. They're actually using him, but we're going to see how long that lasts. And it was really cool to see everybody in Manchester Fandangoing. I thought that was really cool. It seemed like the entire arena was doing it, and that's got to feel really good to see, especially with Daniel Bryan, when he says yes with everybody having their hands up. That's really got to feel good regardless. Even as a person, that would make me feel so good if I heard people chanting my name or doing my gimmick or something. I think that would be very cool, and I'm sure that was really cool to him. They both put up a really good fight and kept up a quick pace, and I like that. It did get a little slow because Tyson Kidd did get thrown onto the mat or the floor, and that kind of slowed the match down. Tyson did get the pace back up, but in the end, I'm sorry, I'm really itchy. Fandango picked up the win with a pin, and I was really happy, because I definitely think Fandango needs to be used more often and needs to be seen more as a legitimate, wrestler, instead of just like this goofy dancer. I think he definitely deserves more in the WWE, and I hope to see them use him more and maybe properly. But I do like to Fandango. I like Fandangoing. It was just a good match. Next we have John Cena versus the Real Americans. This is a 2-on-1 handicap match. I was surprised with the Real Americans getting such a big pop when they came out, and even after Zeb Coulter talk so badly about England, they were still getting a really big pop. So I was really surprised about that, but that's really good because I feel the All-Americans just are always booed and just kind of not taken as seriously and treated like they should be, because I feel like they are big guys that are definitely up there and are very talented. So John Cena definitely put on a good fight, which, you know, he's been wrestling since he's been back. And I think that's a great thing, but I'm also afraid I don't want him putting too much stress on his injury. I know he was medically cleared, so it's not like he's going against the doctors, but I'm just really afraid that they're just going to use him so much that he's going to get re-hurt, and cross my fingers. I really hope that doesn't happen. But John Cena was getting ready to be put into the Cesaro swing, which actually I was kind of excited to see because I do like the Cesaro swing. I think it's really cool to watch. But he countered with an STF, which Cesaro didn't tap out. And then Alberto Del Rio came out to kind of try to distract Cena, but he really didn't seem to bother John Cena at all. I mean, Alberto Del Rio wouldn't bother me because I don't like him. I'd be like, oh, look at that, go somewhere else. Nobody likes you. Go home. So then John Cena, after, it was a really good match. I thought the All-Americans did a great job going in and out of the ring, and I think John Cena also did a great job because he's just really been showing his strength and his power, and that he is not, weak, and that he still got it in him to do all of these matches. And he put Jack Swagger in the STF for the win, but then Alberto Del Rio quickly got in the ring with a chair and put John's arm in a chair, and then put the cross arm breaker on his injured arm. And that really sucked because I'm like, please don't hurt him. Like, I will come and shove that flag up your butt. Like, ugh. But thank goodness Big E Langston came out to help John Cena, and I thought that was really cool, and I was really happy to see that. Next we have R-Truth versus Ryback, and R-Truth came out rapping as he usually did, but it was actually a rap about Ryback, and I thought it was pretty good. It was clever, and it really made Ryback very angry. So Ryback quickly went on the attack, trying to anything to just give R-Truth a beating. But in the end, R-Truth quickly rolled up Ryback for the win, which Ryback was completely surprised, and I think a lot of people really were surprised. But it was a short match, and I guess it was okay, but it could have been better, but it was still an interesting match. I just am not really excited about R-Truth or Ryback to begin with. Next we have Alberto Del Rio versus Big E Langston, which was made after Big E Langston came out and helped John Cena. Big E Langston's power definitely made Alberto work very hard because, as you can tell, Big E Langston is a big guy and he is very powerful. And I think Alberto Del Rio underestimated him, and so it definitely made him work. But in the end, Big E Langston was put in the cross arm breaker and tapped out, so that kind of sucked, and I feel like the match could have been a little longer and just a little bit more interesting. It definitely was interesting, but I feel like it could have been just a little bit more interesting. Next we have Paul Heyman coming out in a wheelchair and a sling and a neck brace and everything, addressing the WWE Universe, saying that he was letting Ryback go and didn't want him to be one of the Paul Heyman guys anymore. And he also said that it was the WWE Universe's fault for what Punk did to him at Hell in a Cell, and that he was going to come back, and that he promised vengeance against Punk. And then CM Punk came out and pretty much quickly took care of Curtis Axel, and then beat Paul Heyman with a kendo stick until he looked like he was dead. So that was interesting, and I was glad they had CM Punk do that, but I also don't want to see CM Punk versus Paul Heyman for the rest of my life, because honestly it's getting a little old, and you know, I think CM Punk has a lot and is a lot more talented and has a lot more to do than continuously fighting Curtis Axel and or Paul Heyman. And last but not least, we have Daniel Bryan and CM Punk versus The Shield, and Daniel Bryan and CM Punk definitely worked well as a team. They targeted Seth Rollins first until Roman Reigns came in the ring, and Roman Reigns definitely kept Daniel Bryan away from CM Punk, and he definitely put a hurt on Daniel Bryan, and out of desperation, thank goodness Daniel Bryan tagged in CM Punk. But as soon as Punk got in the ring and got some momentum, the Wyatt family came out to the ring, and I don't think it made the Shield too happy, because just everybody started fighting, and so that CM Punk and Daniel Bryan won by disqualification, and I think I think that pissed the Shield off. And then as Daniel Bryan and CM Punk were getting beat up, the Usos and the Rhodes brothers came out to help. So I'm wondering if they're gonna have the Shield and the Wyatt family team up against the Rhodes brothers, the Usos, and Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, as the main, the main big match at Survivor Series. So we'll see where that goes. And that was Monday Night Raw. I think it could have been a lot better. A lot of the matches were either too slow or boring, or I just didn't enjoy them. So I hope next week is better than this week, but this week still was pretty good. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will be back on Saturday with my SmackDown review. Bye, guys.